What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got 3 crucial stories today that clear up some major transfer speculation, and we've got a crucial update on Declan Rice's injury after that Brentford scare. Let's dive straight in. Gooners, if you've been seeing reports about Arsenal preparing a big January move for Rodrigo, I've got news for you. Fabrizio Romano, the most reliable transfer journalist in the world, has just killed that rumour dead. After Arsenal's impressive summer window, Andrea Berta is already preparing for January. Arsenal have been linked with several forwards heading into the winter transfer window, and Rodrigo has been the biggest name thrown around. Rodrigo was heavily linked to Arsenal during the summer, but opted to remain at Real Madrid. Now Los Blancos are reportedly open to parting ways with the winger, and naturally, speculation about Arsenal has ramped up again. But Romano has been on hand to set the record straight on his YouTube channel, and what he said is pretty definitive. Romano said, "The reports on the future of Rodrigo, 0% about Chelsea. Forget about Rodrigo and Chelsea. We keep having that kind of rumours. There is nothing for January also about Arsenal. That story is not true. Arsenal are not working on a deal for Rodrigo in the January transfer window." So there you have it. 0% chance of Rodrigo to Chelsea in January, and Arsenal are not working on a deal for him either. That's as clear as it gets from the most reliable source in football transfers. Now, does this mean Arsenal will never sign Rodrigo? Not necessarily. Romano specifically said January is off the table. That doesn't rule out a summer move if his situation at Real Madrid continues to deteriorate, but for the winter window, forget about it. It's not happening. For Arsenal, not signing Rodrigo in January might actually be good news. The winger hasn't scored for Real Madrid since March. That's almost a year without a goal. His form has completely fallen off a cliff under Xabi Alonso, and bringing in a player who's that low on confidence mid-season could be risky. But here's the thing, as it stands, a January move looks unlikely, but Berta shouldn't cross the 24-year-old off his list entirely. Alonso may not be getting the best out of the Brazil international, but that doesn't mean he's no longer valuable. Any player with 122 goal contributions for Real Madrid by the age of 24 is a head-turner. The issue seems to be one of confidence and lack of clarity regarding his role at Madrid. Those are fixable problems. Given Arsenal's current options on the left side, there's no doubt that Rodrigo could raise the standard at the Emirates if he were to be considered by Berta again in the summer, just not in January. So if you see more Rodrigo to Arsenal stories popping up in the next few weeks, you can safely ignore them. Romano has spoken, and when Romano says it's not true, it's not true. Now let's talk about a transfer that actually is happening. Arsenal have informed Eintracht Frankfurt that they're interested in signing their 20-year-old winger João Mateo Bahoya. And this kid has been compared to Jadon Sancho when he was in his prime at Borussia Dortmund. Arsenal's transfer plans for 2026 have already begun. After Andrea Berta's unprecedented summer window where he spent over £200 million on 8 new signings, the Italian is already looking ahead to next year. After agreeing deals to sign Edwin and Holger Quintero when they turn 18, Berta has set his sights on a Bundesliga star. Sky Sports Germany's Florian Plettenberg has revealed that Arsenal are interested in Bahoya, and their interest for the summer is concrete. Eintracht Frankfurt have been informed of Arsenal's intentions. Plettenberg revealed on X, "Arsenal are keeping a close eye on João Mateo Bahoya. Their interest for the summer is concrete, and Eintracht Frankfurt have been informed. Marcus Krösche is demanding up to €70 million, roughly £61 million for the 20-year-old left winger. His contract runs until 2029, so Arsenal have a phenomenal squad at the moment with 2 top-class players in almost every area of the pitch. But if you had to point out one weakness in the first team, it would be the left-wing position. Leandro Trossard has had a fantastic start to the season, but he's on the wrong side of 30. Gabriel Martinelli has also done well recently, but he seems to be Arsenal's most sellable asset. Clubs are interested in him, and if the right offer comes in, Arsenal might consider it. That's why Arsenal are looking for additions in that role, and Bahoya fits the profile perfectly. The 20-year-old is naturally a left winger, but he can play across the front line and also in an attacking midfield role. His versatility is a massive asset. And the comparison to prime Jadon Sancho at Dortmund? That came from Bundesliga.com, so it's not just fan speculation. So who is Jean-Mathieu Bahoya? He's a France under-21 international who came through the Angers Academy. The Frenchman joined Eintracht Frankfurt in 2024 when he was 18. He's since played 59 games for them, 34 of which have come off the bench, and he's directly contributed to 11 goals. As for his traits, Bahoya is rapid. He has an eye for goal, his work rate is excellent, and he's capable of both cutting inside and taking on his man on the outside when he plays out wide, which makes him a big threat for defenders to deal with. Bahoya is viewed as a huge talent by Eintracht Frankfurt, and having seen how they've negotiated the sales of players like Randal Kolo Muani, Hugo Ekitike and Omar Marmoush in recent years, we know they won't let him leave for a small fee. 70 million euros is what they're demanding, and that's not a negotiation starting point, that's what they actually want. It remains to be seen if Arsenal will pay that kind of money for Bahoya in 2026. £61 million for a 20-year-old with 11 goal contributions in 59 games is a lot. But if Arsenal see him as a long-term solution on the left wing, someone who can be the main man there for the next decade, then maybe it's worth it. The comparison to prime Sancho is interesting because we all remember how devastating Sancho was at Dortmund before his move to Manchester United. If Bahoya can reach even 70 or 80% of that level, he'd be an incredible signing for Arsenal. This is definitely one to watch for summer 2026. Gooners, Arsenal have made their interest concrete, Frankfurt have been informed, and now it's just a question of whether Berta is willing to meet that €70 million asking price. Alright, let's talk about the Declan Rice injury scare, because Arsenal fans witnessed their worst nightmare against Brentford when Rice was substituted due to injury. Rice appeared to clutch his calf when he was escorted off the pitch by Arsenal's physio, and the Emirates held its breath. The midfielder is completely irreplaceable in the Arsenal squad, so his early exit overshadowed what was actually a crucial win. But fortunately, there was some encouraging news post-match. Rice was seen walking without discomfort, which was the first positive sign. And now journalist Ryan Taylor has reported that Arsenal feel optimistic that Rice has avoided a calf injury. The news is a huge relief, and it follows an injury expert's evaluation of Rice suggesting that his injury was minor. So it looks like we dodged a bullet here, Gooners. With the top-of-the-table clash against Aston Villa fast approaching, this update on Rice's fitness is fantastic. Arsenal absolutely need him for that match. Villa are flying this season, and without Rice controlling the midfield, that game becomes so much harder. That being said, this injury scare has only emphasised how irreplaceable Rice is in the current squad, and that's actually not entirely good news. Beyond Rice and Martin Zubimendi, Arteta's options in central midfield are thin. Christian Norgard is a considerable level below that pair, so if Rice had been seriously injured, Arsenal would have been in real trouble. It could be that this scare sparks Andrea Berta into some deep thinking with future transfer windows in mind. Rice's untouchable status isn't all good news because it means Arsenal have no proper backup for him. What happens if Rice picks up a serious injury in February or March when the season is at its most intense? Right now, Arsenal don't have a clear answer to that question. Zubimendi can play there, but he's been more effective as the deeper midfielder. Norgard isn't quite at the level needed for a title push, so while the immediate news is positive, Rice avoided serious injury and should be fit for Villa, this has exposed a potential weakness in Arsenal's squad depth. And you can bet Andrea Berta is taking note of that. Maybe in January, maybe next summer, Arsenal might look to add another midfielder who can genuinely compete with or cover for Rice, someone who brings similar qualities, energy, defensive awareness, ability to progress the ball. That's not an easy profile to find, but it's something Arsenal need to think about. For now though, let's just be grateful that Rice is okay. He's too important to lose, and having him available for the run into the new year is absolutely crucial for Arsenal's title challenge. So there you have it, Gooners. What do you think, Gooners? Are you disappointed Rodrigo isn't coming in January? Would you pay £61 million for Bahoya? And should Arsenal sign another midfielder to cover for Rice? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an Arsenal update. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!